Hello and welcome to another episode of Inside the Dressing Room powered by Extreme. I'm your host Dhaka, and Bangladesh women's team finally got to know their opponents in the all-important Asian Cup, and they did not have an easy group. To talk about all that, I have Ahmed Shaikh with me. Shaikh, Bangladesh would have probably chosen a different group, but in any cases, in a global tournament, you have to be ready to face any opponent, right?
Yeah, basically with this tournament, Bangladesh women's team and also Bangladesh Football Federation is stepping into the elites, I would say.
Of course.
Because out of the 47 countries in Asian football, you are in the top 12. And like even when you see the ranking of the teams, you see that all the 11 teams, their ranking is in 2 digits. Only Bangladesh is in 3 digits. So you can imagine like how far Bangladesh have come to be with the elites.
সব মশার বিরুদ্ধে সুরক্ষা দিতে এলো বসুন্ধরা এক্সট্রিম অ্যারোসল মশার বিরুদ্ধে এক্সট্রিম সুরক্ষা
So yes, the groups I would say the group I would say for Bangladesh is very tough,
comprising of China, North Korea, and Uzbekistan. So it's tough. I would have really loved if the Bangladesh would have swapped their position with India. India got a very easy Vietnam, Japan, and Chinese Taipei.
So Chinese Taipei, I was sure that Bangladesh would beat. So so in that case, yes, it's tough. But on the other hand, I would say that the way the girls are playing at this moment, when we were even qualifying for that, Myanmar was the ranking was 55. So considering that, Myanmar was not expecting this kind of competition, and at the end of the day, they lost. So it's the same goes for the other teams. I know they are way ahead. I know that they have won the competition, but then again, this is like we are like a dark horse. We are coming in a tournament like for the first time, and we will bring surprises. Obviously, so that's why I am very hopeful with this team.
And of course, it never hurts to start the baptism with fire, right? To start a global tournament with the hardest possible challenge.
Yes.
But interestingly, Shaikh, the BFF had a chat with the media today, and the women's wings chief talked about the plans ahead of the Asian Cup, and she spoke about that they're going to send the girls for a long camp. And they're going to bring in some technical hands for the team, including the goalkeeper coach and the women's assistant coach. But what surprised me most is that though it's not certain, but the women's wing chief hinted that the camp could be in Spain for the preparation. What do you think? Do you like that location if they tend to go to Spain?
No, I think the first thing that you should pick is the first 2 games is in Sydney. So what is Sydney's weather in March? That should be your first priority. And on the other hand, the last match against Uzbekistan, which is the most important match, that is in Perth. So both the weather and the conditions will be different for the 3 games. Like first 2 is different and the last one will be different. So I think before picking any camp, we should actually
analyze
the atmosphere
of the
venues and all those things. And in this tournament, I would say yes, it's a very big camp is required, because also for these players, these girls, they will be witnessing like top end country for the first time. So they will be starstruck. They will be in the competition first. They will be like amazed with whatever is happening around them.
Also, they never played in such a platform before, in a country like Australia, where teams like North Korea, China, and Japan is participating. So huge opponents, a lot of opportunities to get overwhelmed.
Right? Yes. So that's why a long camp is required, because after 1 week, your this amazing feeling, overwhelming feeling that goes out. Then you get accustomed to it and you start performing. So I think yes, the camp is very much required, but I think if we can arrange it around, like for example Australia or in New Zealand, that will be better for us, because the conditions will be much more same. So this way the girls will be like, when they will be appearing for the matches, they will be very much like accustomed with the weather. So the weather will not be a different factor for them to make any kind of excuse or any kind of like noise or that kind of a thing. So that's why I think those areas is most important, and the long camp is required. And considering about the new technical staff, obviously yes, we need better technical staff who can give we can strengthen our different aspects,
and also the international outlook
yeah, they can provide. But the main thing that is whenever the new staffs are joining, they should always follow Butler's theory. So with like new coaches coming in, they might have their own theories, but as the team is in a good shape and the harmony is good, so they should not break the harmony or introduce something which breaks the tempo or harmony of the team.
They should just fit into Butler's puzzle, right?
Yes. Whatever Butler's puzzles are, they should enhance it rather than giving new ideas, because the girls have like after a lot of struggles, the girls have actually accustomed with their Butler's thought process and Butler's way of playing. So we should follow that, and we should make it go as long as it is.
And how about the team now? Do you think Butler will stick to his usual team, or for a like bigger tournament like Asian Cup? We have seen in the past that bigger coaches tend to pick one or two surprise players just to surprise the opponent, who the opponent doesn't know much about. Do you think Butler have something in his arsenal like that?
In my opinion, Butler will stick to his actual plan, best players that he played in Myanmar. But this Asian under-20 qualifiers that is going to happen, this will be a test case for Butler, that which players should be picked in the substitute bench for the national team. And I think as it is a like one kind of a tournament which is happening after a long time, Butler should have his doors open for the experienced players if they can physically be fit and match with this team. Because whatever happens, you also have to consider the fact that tournaments like this, like big stages, important matches need experienced players. Considering how experienced Masura and Sabina are, they still can provide a good support to the team, but not for the full match. Lastly, like for the last 10 or 20 minutes, if we can use them in such a way, in tricky situation where experience is required, then I think it will be the best case scenario for Butler.
So you see a way back for Sabina in the team ahead of this big tournament?
I think Butler, yes, Butler should.
Should that be a good pick?
I think, in my opinion, Butler should stick to his theory, but also have this option that if they can perform and fit into his theory, then they can come. Because what happened before this Myanmar game, 2 or 3 players were called, and lastly they were introduced to the squad, but in the substitute bench. They didn't play any match. They were in the substitute bench, but if it was required, the experienced player would have come and played in that way. So in my view, if Sabina and Masura, they can think that yes, the team is much more big,
and
much
they can
bigger,
be useful for the team.
Useful for the team. We have seen in movies and cases like that, like
a senior player always helps the team in crucial moments.
This is something which is about the country. This is something which we have like entering for after so many decades.
First time for the women's, in fact.
First time for the women's. So this kind of a situation, you should not have anything that like lets you go off from your position. So if you can have,
it should be bigger than the ego, bigger than the self, right?
Bigger than the self. So it's about the country. So if you can help the country, if you can help Butler's plan and the team, then you should be considered and given a chance.
Right. Shaikh, of course, we will be talking regarding this tournament a lot, but now, as of now, the way Bangladesh team has been performing for over maybe a couple of years, how do you see their realistic chances, and can we hit that magic top 8 position?
Yes,
for the World Cup qualifiers? I don't know, big dreams,
yes,
big aspirations.
First of all, I would say that in current scenario, with my knowledge and understanding, the first 6 positions, the group champions and the group runners-up, this is out of our reach at this moment. This is what is my thinking.
Last two positions. Right?
Last two positions. So what will happen? The third teams, the group third teams, they will be taken into consideration like a group, and then they will be marked based on their performance. Now, if you consider the other two groups, obviously India has a better position, and if you think that India will obviously qualify as the sixth team, seventh team in my idea. So, but from this like 9 teams, like if you consider third position, so there are 3 teams, so it's 6 and then 9. So the 2 teams will be considered for the World Cup. So 7th, I am sure that India will take, because the group is easy and they will be easier for them. But the 8th position,
Chinese Taipei, Uzbekistan, Bangladesh.
I think the fight will be between Bangladesh and Iran on this Iran on this case. So now the your calculation or our calculation should be how we can be the 8th team. So in
how to crack that
how to crack that post, because if we are totally considering on winning the matches always, then what happens, like when you don't win, you lose all the hope. But if you are mathematically thinking about that position and also analyzing other group matches, your sweet spot has to be like how many less goals we concede and how we can get to that 8th position. Your calculation should be
needs meticulous planning.
Meticulous planning on how you can get to the 7th and 8th position, because this is the first time you are playing. Your goal should be to getting into that place,
so
rather
not for
than
certainly to win the cup, win the trophy, not the top 4.
No need,
but to focus on 7 or 8.
Yes,
right?
Because like for example, if you like the amount of investment, the amount of effort that we give as a country, if we now think that we are going to win the Asian Cup, that's not going to happen.
That's far-fetched.
Even if you think that we will be the group runners-up, that is too far-fetched. But if you think that somehow we can nick that 7th or 8th place, that is very much in our hands.
Very realistic.
Very realistic. So you have to be realistic with your goals, and you have to calculate in that way. You have to play the matches and at the same time see what are the opponents are doing. So you have to calculate and effort it in the match to get into that 7th or 8th position. So India, I would say that it's very hard because they have got easier opponents. But somehow if we can manage the first 2 matches, and if we can win against Uzbekistan, then the option of going to that 8th position is very much open for us.
Right.
So I think we should clearly, and it's a very good thing for us that our last match is against Uzbekistan.
So we can have all the calculations.
Yes, we can, if we can have a proper calculation of drawing or getting less goals, playing a bit defensive and attacking at the same time, but getting less goals on the first 2 matches, then also the confidence will be boosted up against Uzbekistan. Right. So this is where you can actually
make or break
in that way.
Shaikh, fantastic to hear from you as always.
Thank you.
Folks, that was our analysis for the women's upcoming Asian Cup. Let us know your comments. I'll be back soon with another episode. Till then, you take care.
For more updates, follow us on Facebook, subscribe our YouTube channel, get the latest update on www.daily-sun.com.